Hello YouTube, my name is Numi, that is short for Numi Stacker, although quite a few people tell me I'm not really that much of a stacker, I'm more Numi than stacker. But I was hanging off for a few days and keeping this back because two different sets of coins arrived back from NGC. The ones that arrived back from Heritage you saw the other day, and we did, I think, 3 unboxings. And then this one arrived back, which was a direct submission from me to NGC. And I wasn't quite expecting it this soon, but they managed to finish off one box, and then they've got a whole load of other coins they're still waiting to grade at the moment. So there will be another mega unboxing in a couple of weeks' time when those get done and sent back. So there are 2 boxes of coins here, and there will be 2 mega unboxing videos. So time to go and put the kettle on, have a nice cup of tea, relax and watch some successes and some disasters unfold before your eyes. Short footnote to add is that if you happen to be in America, there's no point trying to make a nice cup of tea, because making a nice cup of tea in America is extremely difficult. You can maybe go out to Tivana and get some nice expensive tea leaves to make a nice cup of tea, but trying to make an English cup of tea in America is actually ridiculously difficult, because the water is somehow a little bit different to England, so it never quite works out in the same way. Okay, right, we're ready. Let's have a look and see what's in the box. So this first one is an 1884 Australian Sovereign Shieldback, 1884 Sydney Mint Sovereign. I've been trying to collect Melbourne Mint Sovereigns, but the 1884 MS61, so it's a very nice coin. It's a normal coin as opposed to a scarce coin in Marsh. 1,595,000 of these were minted in Sydney. Any MS61 Shieldback is a really nice coin to have. Despite what I said yesterday about hating sovereigns, I don't really hate sovereigns at all, and actually a 61 is a delightful coin to have in a collection, and really nice because you see all the design on it. So it may not be a 66, but a 61 is great. Next up is an 1875 Australian Sovereign. This one is another Sydney Mint Shieldback Sovereign. Also got a good grade, 61. This one's also rated as normally available. You know, there's common, normal, scarce, rare. So this is a normal one. And there were about 2,122,000 of these minted at the Sydney Mint. The Sydney Mint was very prolific, and a lot of its sovereigns are not quite as rare or expensive as some of the Melbourne sovereigns. Okay, so proof details. Cleaned. Probably hairlines. They don't necessarily say anymore when they give these new gradings exactly what the problem was or what type of cleaning, but you can see the hairlines on that, and you can see that some bozo in the past has wiped this a little bit too vigorously, caused those hairlines, and therefore this got a proof details grade. But still a nice coin to have in a collection. Whether this will end up staying in the slab or being released, which I'm sure will please a number of people, is open to doubt. I don't know, it's not my coin, and it got a proof details grade. Next up, 1891 Britain Sovereign MS61, 1891. You can tell me a little bit more about the 1891. Marsh tells me that there were basically 3 types of sovereigns. There's a proof horse with a long tail, a reverse horse with a short tail, reverse horse with a long tail. I think I had a short tail one in for grading, which is a rare 5 in Marsh, and this one is a rare 3. So this could be a pretty rare and valuable coin. Is that R3 really justified? There were 6,300,000 of them minted. Is this really an R3 coin? Maybe it is, although a number of people have said that Marsh, even though it's based on a lot of expertise, sometimes does make mistakes. So next one of these is an 1889 Sydney Sovereign, and this is being given a variety designation, DG far, and when it says DG far, it means that the DG is far away from the crown or near to the crown. So the colon, the last colon after the DG, is either right by the crown or near the crown. So this one is DG far, and according to Marsh, DG far is Dish S11, only 97,860 of these, and that's also an R3, rare 3 sovereign. Pretty rare coin. Nice little bit of luster on that as well. 61, very nice specialist coin, which be interested in looking up the value of this and how different it is from the main other one. If it was closer to the crown, that would be common, and there were 3 million of those compared to 90,000 of the ones that are far from the crown. 1878 half sovereign. Let's have a look at that one. Half sovereign, 1878, Great Britain, AU 55. In 1878, there were 2,300,000 half sovereigns, and it's graded as normal in Marsh. So if it was the 1879 half sovereign, there were only 35,000 of those, and that would be an R2. So pretty interesting, that one. 1860 half sovereign. It's 1860 half sovereign. Again, this one is not common, but it's rated as normal, and there were 1,131,500 of these minted. Half sovereigns do tend to be a little bit more worn than full sovereigns because they were used much more frequently in people's daily expenditure or weekly expenditure. A lot of them got very, very worn down. So in a way, half sovereigns can be a little bit rarer than full sovereigns. 1858. This one is a full sovereign, belongs to me. 1858 is a pretty rare year. I was hoping this would get graded with unbarred A's, where the A's in Gracia didn't have the bar in the middle of the A. But I did ask about that, but they decided that maybe this hasn't got enough for that particular variety. But AU 55 for an 1858 is actually very good. If you look over in the Marsh book, you'll see the 1858 is actually marked as rare. And 1858, the mintage was 803,000, and 1858 and 1859 I look out for with pretty good mintage. This one I think is one of my favourites. I bought this from a friend based in Japan, and this is a coin which actually is, I think, much rarer than anyone thinks. It's marked as rare anyway. It's an 1881 Melbourne shieldback. Very unusual to find these. There's only a few dozen that have been graded by NGC, and it's not the most valuable date. I think 1880, 1886 and 1887 are all more valuable, but it is a great addition even in AU 53. Very, very good coin to pull into the collection, and very happy. Those two are mine. Very happy to have those in my collection. Sorry this box is so sovereign centric, and but I know a number of you are growing to appreciate the finer points of the sovereign. 1818, I was the only sovereign before 2013 minted in India. This was minted in Bombay, and ones in this condition in MS64 are pretty hard to come by, and that was a great grade. This 1872 shieldback, I should really have noticed this. I'm sure I'll get told off for not noticing this, but looking at it now here, it's pretty obvious. It's a little bit too shiny, it's a little bit polished, and it was removed from jewellery. I really should have looked at this more carefully and I apologise for not picking this one up, the fact that it got a details grade. So I could have done better on that. 1911C Canada. This is a nice one to find. MS63 Canadian sovereigns are all desirable. Some of the dates are rarer than others. Obviously the 1916 is the key date, but there are other dates around that which are also very, very worthwhile and very rare. 1917. Well, you may have seen the video that I posted on the London 1917. Well, London 1917 is almost unobtainium. However, you can pick up 1917 sovereigns from Sydney Mint, Melbourne Mint and Perth Mint, and they're still worth picking up. They're still nicer than the average sovereign. Here's another one which is a bit of a disaster, unfortunately. 1919 Canada sovereign, cleaned. Again, I might have been able to pick that up. Maybe I should look at these things in a little bit more depth. But obviously there's some hairlines on there or something where they pick that up as a cleaned coin. Not good. There's the other 1917, the Melbourne one, MS62. Did very well. I guess an Australian 1917 is worth around about £350, something like that, compared to maybe £10,000 for a London one. So massive difference in price and difference in rarity. Next up is another one of the 1917s. So there are 3 Australian mints producing 1917 sovereigns. And although the London Mint did produce lots and lots of sovereigns, as I said in my previous video, they all got pretty much stored for international trade and then handed over to the Americans at some stage. So, this next coin, yeah, it's not in a holder. Why? Because it's a fake. 1911C Canada Sovereign. And I'll show you a little bit of the coins in this video, but I'm also going to make another video just on this fake and the comparison, and we'll take a look at that over a few extra minutes and see what we make of that. I've seen quite a few fakes now with all the coins that I've had to grade. I've fake American coins, and now I think for the first time a fake sovereign. And you know, it's really easy to see when you look at them side by side that the coin is a fake, but it's not easy to see if you're not looking for it. So you know, you can see, and you'll see in the detailed video, that the differences between these coins. And looking at them together, yeah, there are telltale signs and it becomes fairly obvious, and it's kind of easy to say I told you so. But actually, anyone who buys one of these is probably going to be taken in. There are differences. You can see the colour differences in depth of the strike. But if you are expecting to buy a sovereign, a bullion sovereign, it's not graded, and you're just picking up a coin, you may not even give it a second look in a pile of other similar coins. And certainly, the owner of this coin should not in any way blame himself. It may or may not be exactly the same amount of gold in it as a regular sovereign. It's probably worth having it tested and weighed and stuff. But a lot of these are pretty old fakes as well. They're not necessarily recent. But interesting that somebody should want to fake a 1911C in particular, as opposed to something kind of more normally found. So, yeah. Have any of you guys had fake sovereigns? I had a fake 1911 proof £5, which didn't look very proof-like and was a pretty bad fake that I got a refund for in the end. But what fakes have you had through your hands? 1918C Canada, not a fake, good coin, pretty rare year, 1918, 1919, 1917, all good years for Canada. But, it must be a bit sad and depressing buying one of these coins, sending it off for grading, getting all excited, and then coming back as a not genuine coin. It's a pretty bad thing to happen and makes you kind of doubt spending lots of good money on these kind of beautiful coins if you're not 100% sure that they're genuine. And even picking things up in the NGC holder is not a guarantee that the coins won't be fake, because I've seen recently fake holders, fake holograms, fake coins. It's not that widespread, but it really does exist. And I think that it's just a bit of a war with the people who are making these things to mislead intentionally. 1923 Melbourne to finish off this package. Hope you enjoyed box 1. Box 2 will be up pretty shortly. Please like if you like. It'd be nice to get a few more likes, actually, really, honestly. But, please subscribe if you haven't. And thanks to all those who've subscribed in the last couple of weeks, which is quite a number of you.